Hello everyone, it's Wong Village again, and today we are going to do another quick unboxing review. And today we are going to review the 2025 80th Anniversary Classic James. And let's open it up and see what James has to offer us. So I got this version of James instead of the 3-pack. It's basically the same reason that I mentioned in my Gordon review. Is that because I don't like the rolling stock at all. So I think it's only cool. I mean, it's a bit cooler if I just get the engines instead. I don't want like two styles of rolling stock in my collection. I think that looks weird. And here we have it. We have James out of the box. So again, let's have a look at the engine first. So we start from the front, and we can see that the front looks okay, I guess, except the fact that even though they have enough space, they didn't do, even though we have a really front, maybe we have enough front space over here for the proportions, unlike Gordon, but James is also missing his lamp irons. So there should be one, two, three like this, but they just omitted it for this model. But let's have a look at the face as well. I think the face nails James' impression quite well, but I think this model falls in the biggest problem is that the boiler is too big. Even though we can clearly see his impression, but I think it's his face and his boiler is still too big for his engine like this, because comparatively to like older releases of James in both Trackmaster and also Playrail lines, that his boiler doesn't look that big before. But I guess like after they fit the battery unit inside his boiler, they just kind of enlarged it afterwards. So, well, I didn't really like this change actually. And we can see his wheels, that the configuration is correct. Like, we finally have a release of James that has his front wheel actually on it. And here are his driving wheels. So this configuration is accurate to James. Whoops. But by looking at the wheel arches, I think there's a little bit of downgrade over here that they do not align together. But I think it would be better if it's aligned, but I guess it's gonna be difficult, like you have the cab to nail as well. And I think all the tender engines kind of have the problem is that they do not have cab windows in front of them. But let's look at the cab of James now. But I think James, so James has kind of have a visible open cab over here, unlike the other engines. I'm not sure if this is the reason why that the wheels do not align with the wheel arches. And I think like his funnel and his dome should be a bit longer or taller. And I think that would improve his proportions. So overall, I think the James, it's not really good actually. So I think we'll not be using this style of engines in our series. But anyways, let's also have a look at the tender. So the tender, I think the lining is also printed okay. And this, on the other side, the printing doesn't have such an obvious problem compared to Gordon, because at least we can see the gaps over here are a bit more even. The font of his number is also quite, it looks quite similar to his in the show. Well, because I think James and Gordon, they share same tenders, so they share similar tenders, so I guess they use the same model, and that's fine for me for this one. But I think now James also has a black lining over here in the latest appearance in Big World Big Adventures, and I think like my comment is also basically the same on Gordon's one, and James' one is that this part, the finger part, is too obvious. And the cold piece, I think it's pretty fine, but it's easy to lose it, I think. So just we need better care to keep it. But overall, I think like James has quite some improvements that can be made, and we can also see that it also falls in the problem with other tender engines as well, is that the train and the tender is just way too far apart. I've seen like people doing some modifications on the coupling so that they can be closer to each other, and but I think that may not work when James turns in the tracks on, I mean, when James turns on the Trackmaster track. But overall, there are some good things about this model, but I tend to not to like him that much compared to the old ones. So, and I guess that also comes to what I have to say about this James model overall. And yes, I think there's also two pack release. It's also really obvious that we have no painted running board, but I think we can just do that myself. So I guess that's it for this review for today. I hope you enjoyed it with me, and I'll see you in the next one. And this is Warm Village signing off. Bye.